The first story we have here from timcast.com. Twitter board utilizes poison pill to stop Elon Musk from buying the company. The plan intends to reduce the likelihood that any entity, person, or group gains control of Twitter. Check this out. Do you guys know how this works?
Kind of.
So this is, if Elon Musk tries to buy up more than 15% of the company, they're going to offer special stock to the other investors at a discount rate so they can dilute the equity power that Elon would have, meaning no matter how much he buys, the other investors can buy up and take away the power he's buying. They're effectively destroying their own company to stop Elon Musk from ending their censorship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's probably
crazy.
because the Saudi Arabian king is involved with
Prince.
Yes.
the prince as
I
well,
mean-
the Saudi Arabian state as well. So I imagine it's all going through the king.
Elaborate. I know there's a prince who invested.
The prince tweeted out, and it also said that the state itself. He said
Kingdom
myself,
H.
yeah, the kingdom, and
But is
and
that just his
myself.
company or?
Well,
is-
to be honest, to be fair, I don't know. I assume that was the kingdom itself.
yeah, I saw Zero Hedge tweeted that he actually sold his shares. I don't know if that's true. though.
Really?
Prince.
The prince sold his shares. I don't know if that's true. It's hard to know, but I think the big play here is that the people who own Twitter, as we mentioned the other day, and what we can get into now, they want the power, the
Yeah.
political power of Twitter to control the conversation.
Saudis aside, I think it's Vanguard. Vanguard upped their stake to say now we own more than Elon. So there's some very nefarious corporate interests that want control of this mouthpiece that is Twitter.
What do you guys think?
Vanguard and BlackRock have a pretty substantial Disney stake as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They also
And
own
grew
each other,
malicious.
which is weird. You
Yeah.
see, like they own 2% of the other and
It's
stuff like
it's
that.
It's all
inbred, if you will.
interconnected.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I had to go there. It's
true.
It's a little inbred when
Yeah.
it comes to the money. So
Here's the crazy thing, right? Let me ask you this question, Brett. Do you use Twitter a lot?
Yeah.
Have you always used Twitter a lot?
No, only this year.
See, because only this year, so only for a few months.
Or no, as of last. So in the last year. It was like early 2021.
And you are 20 years old, Gen Z,
Mm-hmm.
and you're only recently getting involved in Twitter.
Yep.
Twitter it's like the political space, right? Like, how do your friends feel about it, younger people?
Honestly, it is not the most used. I think Instagram and TikTok are just what is most heavily dominated. In politics, everybody is on Twitter. So my friends that are in the political sphere, they are very active. But outside of that, people will have like a burner account, basically, where they go to just look at memes, but they don't tweet anything. They're
Yeah.
not involved. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, I'll check Twitter. But it's a very, I think in normal circles, it's kind of outdated. Like, oh,
Yep.
that's just whatever. And I never really had a reason or an interest in being on it until I started. I was writing for Fee, and they were like, you need to be on there to, promote your articles and that kind of stuff.
But that's not even true.
Yeah.
So when I worked at Fusion, they didn't have Twitter. I think it's been a while, but we had a conversation about how, websites like to put the social media link so you can tweet out the story, post the stories, and they didn't care about Twitter. And I asked them why, and they said Twitter doesn't drive traffic. And so I was like, okay. For me, I was like, Twitter's really important. But back in the day, when it was the free speech wing of the free speech party, it was really important. Now, like I mentioned, I'll post like a picture of a hairless rabbit for no reason and just post nonsense because
Yeah.
the platform is garbage.
Twitter's kind of like the repository social media network. I signed up in 08, didn't use it till 2019 because I thought it was crap. But YouTube is where it's at. The video makes you famous, and then they come and follow you on Twitter when they find
Yes.
out you have a Twitter
Yeah.
account. No one finds you on Twitter. That's not how it works. I mean, maybe not no one, but it's not.
Well, people found me on Twitter when they realized that I looked like Ben Shapiro. That's
yeah.
where I got the bulk of mine. I had like 400 followers, and then Jeremy retweeted the side-by-side of me and Ben, and it was like, okay, now you have 20,000. And I was
Wow.
like, okay.
Pin tweet on your account right now.
Yeah, you can go check it out.
I'm Brett
Yeah,
Cooper.
people were chatting female Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
But you're taller.
I am.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
taller. Ben's actually not that short. That's
No,
the funny
no,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
We just hung out with him the other day, and I'm like, everybody says he's short, and then he walks up to me. I'm like, oh, he's actually a fairly average height,
Yeah.
like totally normal guy. They just like lying and making things up because they want to hate on people. But
Exactly.
anyway, back to the reason I was
Yeah.
asking you these questions. Twitter's a failing company. Like, yo, I'm 36. Ian's 75.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a wizard.
you look good though.
Thanks.
You look
man.
good, yeah. No, but like in all seriousness, we're an older demographic, and you have to get young people involved in your culture if you want that culture to persist. Twitter seems to be on a train track that leads just flying off a cliff. They're not convincing young people to be involved in what Twitter is. They have turned Twitter into an activist blog. Yo, I called this. I said several years ago when they were banning all the fun people, the trolls and the silliness and the memes, I was like, dude, it's going to turn into a left-wing activist blog. And it's going to have 10 people, and eventually it's going to be one guy, and some people might visit it.